Gwen Stefani, your voice, your style, your music, and just you have been an incredible inspiration to generation that span across what, nothing less than 2 decades now. So when you look back to where you started and where you are today, is there anything you want to tell your younger self?
Oh, geez. That's a good question because I used to say that I have no regrets. Of course, the longer you live, you kind of get smarter and you realize that you actually do have some regrets. And I think the one thing that has been a consistent thing that I wish I would have exercised more when I was younger. I knew it was there, but I didn't focus on it enough, was my spiritual exercise. I think that
Wow.
back in the day when I was a child, like it was planted in me by my parents. I
Mhm.
felt like I was deep in, and then just as most of us do, get lost on the journey, and things happen, and then those regrets come. But I feel like these days, if I could go back, I'd be like, girl, like, that's what you got to do. And who cares about all of those treadmill runs? Like, you got to get in there and in here. So I feel
Wow.
like that's one thing I would definitely have changed.
How nice is that? It's very thoughtful, I must say. Of course, it comes with so many years of experience. Now, multiple albums, awards, and a reputation to boot later. What made you stick with a title like Let Me Reintroduce Myself?
Well, I mean, that title actually came from Ross Golan, who is a partner of mine in the last year that I've been writing songs with. One of them, I mean, I've written with a lot of people, and something about Ross was like, when I first met him in a Zoom, by the way, because I've been writing everything through Zoom.
Yes, yes.
He was like, it was like, he's just a really good listener. And we started talking, and you don't know each other at all. And I know that he's talented. He was recommended to me by someone else I was working with, but I just started talking about kind of, where I was at, and
Right.
my kind of insecurities, and trying to make excuses for myself to like think like, well, would people really want to hear me anymore? Like, are they over it? Like, why would they want to, and maybe it's done, like all those insecurities. And
Sure,
he was
sure.
kind of like, he kind of built me up by saying, well, let me reintroduce myself. Like, cause I would kept saying, well, I'm still me. Like, I'm still alive. Like, I still have things inside me I want to offer. And I also feel like I wanted to kind of go back to my roots with this music a little bit. I was
Sure.
thinking so much about just like the olden days of discovering music when I was 13 years old, and discovering ska and reggae. And
Yes.
so, yeah, I feel like I've kind of been consistent, but then at the same time, I wanted to kind of revisit and recycle myself. So that's kind of where this song came from.
How cool is that? Now, your album is #1 on airplay here in India, on our radio station, and it happens to be the largest international radio network in India. What do you have to say about
I literally, can we just stop for a second? Can you say that one more time?
that? You know what? All
That's
your insecurities are pushed to the bay. It's #1 here in India.
literally zero chance that could be true. By the way, if my light goes down, it's because my cat, Mr. Pickles, just spilled over everything on the counter and now is about ready to unplug the light. But anyways,
Wow.
Mr. Pickles, go down, get out of here. I wanted, that just made me think of something. It made me think of being in Anaheim, where I'm from, in California. Anaheim is the home of Disneyland, and my first job, not one of my first jobs, was working in a mall, with Tony
Yes,
Canal,
yes,
was my boyfriend at the time. He's Indian.
yes.
And you know, in Anaheim, it wasn't like I had like a lot of Indian friends or anything. It was very rare. Like, and I can remember being behind like the register in Plaza Sportswear, waiting for a customer, and watching this woman and her children come through the mall, and they were Indian and they were dressed like princesses. Like, I'd never, because you're used to it. You grew up with that, sparkle. But you know, I didn't. So I was just like mesmerized by these women and just the way they were adorned. And of course, for them, it was like their jeans and t-shirt, like that's what they wear every day. You know, I was like, oh, I want to be one of those girls, you know? And I was probably like 20, 19, but it's interesting to think of that moment and then think of you telling me that my song is all the way around the world, you know, where it's 10 o'clock at night and people are listening. And, you know, it's just, it doesn't get old, and it blows my mind. And I just feel so grateful, and I feel so happy that I actually did some new music. Like, yes, okay, they want to hear it.
It's really nice to hear from you of having a certain value system where there is God involved, there's spirituality involved. It's a space where very few people are able to arrive at, and you're already there. That's beautiful.
Oh my gosh, I was just telling myself this morning, like, girl, you are so late to the game. Like, get it. Like, you got a lot to learn. But like, you know, it's a constant thing, and it's just like regular exercise, like physical exercise, where you fall in and out. And, you know, but thank you for saying that, because I think that it is truly the truth, and it's what got me to this point. So I want to share that, you know, I want to share it without scaring people. I want to share it with just like, this is what happened to me. Like, this is how I do it. You know, I'm not telling anyone else to do anything. I'm just saying, you're asking me, and I'm telling you what my truth is.
Quickly, before I move on to the next question, 2020 was the time you obviously brought yourself together and you wanted to reintroduce yourself. That's your single from the 5th album. It must have been tough. You've had your kids around. You've got that extra time to bond with them. What is your takeaway from, you know, the lockdown?
We had actually an incredible year last year for us personally. I know the world was aching, but we were able to lock down in Oklahoma with my fiance, Blake, and we had all the kids, and we were homeschooling. I had my sister-in-law and brother and their children. So there's 5 kids in homeschool. We're living in literally like a cabin, very rustic in nature. And it was, we got to cook and clean, and just, it was a really needed thing for our family. And I think that it was fun. Like, it was hard, but it was really fun. And I think through that break, that pause, where like I was like really thinking about wanting to be creative again. Because when you lose it, like when you don't have it anymore, you get that break, you're like, I want that again. So yeah, I think it produced a lot of amazing things. And able to go back on The Voice again during the pandemic was also a complete unbelievable blessing, because a lot of people weren't working, and being around that music and being to have that blessing was also fuel to the music. And so there's just like, I got to do also 2 songs outside of my genre with Blake. Not to brag, but I got to
do #1 on the iTunes chart. Wow.
So I got to be on country radio, which I think, again, when you have something that's so different, it's inspiring. So that helped me as well to want to do new music.
Wow, that's beautiful. Thank you so very much, Gwen. This has been amazing.
It's been so fun. I just want to say, India, I love you guys. You've been such an inspiration to me through my entire career. And I literally am such a fan. So thank you for all the love you've given me, and thank you for listening to my music.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Bye.
Bye.